game jams. You make a game in a certain amount of time with a theme and sometimes a limitation. Also, with the deadline over your head at all times, it's a nightmare. And I have my fair game jams, but I've never created an actual good game until this happened. So I decided to join Mini Jam 99. The theme was birds, and who knows what the restriction could be. But I think I needed some help. So that's where the dream team comes in. So I knew I couldn't do this jam alone. So I ended up pairing with my friend AKking. He would help me make the art for the game because I don't think I was going to have time to. And that's how we created the dream team. So the restriction for the jam was can't stop moving. So me and AKking bounced ideas back and forth. Our final idea was you play as this bird and you're in this dungeon. And then these enemies would follow you around. And the only way to kill them is by using a sword, which can slice through the enemies. But the sword will always follow you, which fits the theme, can't stop moving. But you can make the sword go faster by holding down left click. So we rolled with that idea. So on day one, what I got finished was the player, who is the blue box, who's moving around my screen right now. The green box is the sword, who follows the player, and I'm controlling the speed with my mouse. And then the red boxes are the enemies. As you can see, I'm running away from the enemies because the enemies kill me. Also, up top you'll see a score counter. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got done for the first day. The start of the next day, I created a post-processing effect and AKking made a placeholder background. Also, AKking made some art, like the player, the enemies, which are orcs, the sword, which looks pretty cool, and then 5 other backgrounds that I'm going to use later. We ended off day 2 by making a menu, high score system, and a dope soundtrack. Also, by clicking R, you can go back to the menu while you're playing, and you can play as many rounds as you want. Also, there's a volume slider, so you can choose your game volume. And the credits, because the beginning of the last day of the jam, I used those other backgrounds to do some use. I created a random background generator, and here's what they look like. The first background, the second background, the third background, and the fourth background, and finally the fifth background. So the last thing I did was create the jam page. It only took around 20 minutes. I also exported the game, which also didn't take that long, and that's about all I did. One thing I realized while doing this jam that was pretty weird is that it didn't feel like there was a deadline. It honestly felt pretty relaxing just making the game, and I felt like there was just nothing pushing me back. I don't know why, but tell me what you guys think of the game. I think it was pretty fun. We got 100th place out of 274 submissions, so that's like around 45%. Anyways, bye-bye, user.